Welcome into the MAC, everybody, on this Tuesday, August 26th. We are just shy of 7 p.m. Chase McNutt and Nate Brown joining you for some high school volleyball here again on this Tuesday. It's the last week of August as well, and things are only about to get busier here at McAlester High School. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But up first, we've got the Lady Buffs and the Lady Tigers of Tahlequah as they come in for the first matchup of two this season, as these teams are very comfortable with each other. They saw each other twice last year, did the Buffaloes and the Lady Tigers. McAlester getting the best of both of those Tiger squads last year. But both teams looking a little bit different this year, as McAlester comes in with a 2-12 record, and the Tahlequah Tigers, they come in with a 5-3 record, ranked number 10 in Class 5A. Once again, Chase McNutt joining you with Nate Brown. Nate, it's a pleasure to be back on the call for you, or with you. First time, I guess, in not the calendar year, but this school year.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, man. Always do a great job, and I'm looking forward to some more volleyball with you.
Yeah, we've got two next week, I believe, next Tuesday and next Thursday.
I think that's right.
Or maybe it's just next Thursday. I'll have to look at the schedule, but I'm looking forward to it. Wasn't able to be here last Tuesday. Shout out for BG being here. I know that you guys had a pretty good one, and so hopefully we can carry that over today, and the Lady Buffs can grab a win, as that's what happened last time.
Yeah.
You guys were here. So one of their two wins is via. You could give credit to the broadcast booth if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was
going to
say might be the good luck charm here.
We'll see how it rolls along today. Again, the Lady Buffaloes, they're taking on a tough Lady Tiger squad out of Tahlequah, who's come in. They've not played as many games as McAllister's played 14. Tahlequah has played just 8 according to OSA rankings. But Tahlequah, they've got more wins in less games, as they sit at 5-3, ranked number 10 by Coach Charles Knifechief. They're riding a 2-game win streak, but also they've won 3 out of their last 4. They've got wins over OK, Edison Prep, and Stillwell, all in straight sets. Nate, I told you this before we came on a little bit ago, because this is one of the craziest things I've seen in volleyball. Every single game for Tahlequah has ended in straight sets, whether it be by win or lose.
That is a crazy stat. I've never seen anything like that.
I've only been covering volleyball for about a year now, because it's the second year we've done this. But I feel like that's pretty crazy. I've not seen that before, especially not last year looking at schedules. But for Tahlequah, for those of you that may not know what that means, they have not won a single set in a match that they've lost, or they have not lost a single set in a match that they've won. Now, in tournaments, it's different. You don't play best of 5. You play just best of 3. So you only play 2. So it's a bit easier to go one way or the other on those, which is what the majority of both sides have done so far, because a lot of early season, it's tournaments. And that's what you see a lot of. McAlester, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of their 14 matches so far have been in tournament play. So it's nice to return home, get some of that home cooking, and back to kind of, getting that extra set and an extra chance to keep yourself in it if maybe you fall down 2 sets to 9.
Right, and Coach Burns was talking about it this morning on Running with the Herd. Subtle plug, it's on our YouTube channel as well, where you're listening to this. He mentioned how tough the teams were. He wanted to get this team built tougher early on in the season, so when playoff time comes around, they're used to playing those really tough teams.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the record may not show it. They have played these teams very tough.
They very much have. And to that point, Nate, I was tallying this up just a little bit ago. The Lady Buffaloes, 9 of their 14 opponents have been against ranked teams, and they have not all been in Class 5A. They've played a 6A team. They've played a couple of 4A teams as well. But again, those 4A teams were all ranked, one in the top 5, one in the top 10 of Class 4A. And when you get into the top 5s of classes, it really, you almost can just throw the book out when you're talking about Class 4A and 5A. The cream of the crop of those two conferences, I mean, they can play each other pretty well.
Oh, always.
So it'll be interesting, especially tonight. 2 teams in 5A that have seen each other a lot. Again, Tahlequah is coming in ranked number 10, at least right now, as the new rankings came out yesterday on my sister's birthday. Shout out my sister Kaylee. She turned 25. Makes me feel really old. But we're going to keep rolling along here. For McAlester, their 2 wins are over 4A Seminole. That was in a straight 3-0 win. They won 25-22, 25-16, and 25-21. And then a win over a 5A opponent in Tulsa Memorial, 2-1 in the Sepulpa tourney, 22-25. They lost the first set, then won the next one 25-14, and won the final frame 15-1. For the Lady Buffs, though, this is just their second home game. Again, this is game 15 or match 16. Yeah, 15. I'm sorry. And again, it's only their second one at home, but they're 1-0 at home. That's why it's nice to get back at your home place. And it's pretty stacked on the home side. Didn't look like Tahlequah, excuse me. You can tell it's been a while since I've been on the mic. But for Tahlequah, not really a lot riding with them tonight. It's not a crazy long drive, but the weather, I also understand, maybe not be great today with the rain. But
and I wouldn't be surprised to see more people file in as the varsity game goes on.
Because we're still a ways away. I know we've got about 3 minutes left on that clock up there, but we've got to get through the starting lineups and everything like that, the national anthem. So it'll probably be closer to probably 10 minutes if I had to take a guess before the first serve comes along. A couple things to round up here before we send it to our first commercial break. This Lady Buffalo team is a very young team, only 5 seniors on the roster. It's a much different team from last year. They lost a lot of players that were really mainstays for them for a while. They're coming off a year last year where they were 17-20. They had a slow start last year, just like this year, though, as the Lady Buffalo started 0-6. Last year, they started 3-6, and again, finished just a couple games under 500. But again, it's been a tough schedule for them so far. This Tahlequah team, they have already almost matched their win total from last year. Again, it's not the same Tiger squad that this Lady Buffaloes team beat twice last year. Tahlequah won 6 matches last year. They've already won 5 out of 8 this year. And this is just the third non-tournament match for the Lady Tigers. So just like the Buffaloes, they've been tournament tested so far early in the season.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
So with that, there's about 2.5 minutes left on this clock here for warm-ups. Nate, I think we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. And before we do, I want to say this broadcast is brought to you by the great people over at Prime Structures, Freedom Ford, and Loftus Furniture. So with that, we'll be back in 90 seconds. You are watching McAlester Volleyball live on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Prime Structures is your local manufacturer of portable buildings. From storage sheds, portable garages, and portable barns to custom builds such as chicken coops and greenhouses. Prime Structures is the only one who builds their buildings here in McAlester using local resources and local labor. They also offer metal carports, RV covers, and metal garages. Local ownership with buildings built at McAlester means factory direct pricing for the customer, saving you money. Free local delivery is also provided. Prime Structures in McAlester, locally owned by Brent and Alicia Case at 1702 South George 9 Expressway, 918-525-4101. See us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Loftus Furniture of McAlester, a proud sponsor of Lady Buffalo Athletics, a family-owned business supporting our McAlester High School sports. Loftus Furniture, 4th-generation business with deep roots in Southeast Oklahoma. One of Southeast Oklahoma's largest furniture stores. 700 East Carl Albert Parkway. The right time, the right place, the right price.
All right, everybody, welcome back. You can't see the clock here, but we are just about to be done with the warm-ups. As you heard the buzzer, and we're going to get the announcement of the starters here momentarily, which I was able to run down and grab a picture of. Let me make sure I've got this correct. On the McAlester side, so I pull my roster out here, and this is in serving order. We're going to have Dallas Calderon, she's a junior. We also have Kylie Swing. After that, we've got Nevaeh Thomas, and then Trinity Bashirs, followed up by Chevy Dotson, and then Tinley Morgan. That is your starting, or your first 6 out there for the Lady Buffaloes. And then over on the Tahlequah side, I did not get starters. I do have a roster, though, and so you'll hear those names as we go along. But I'm very interested to see if things follow suit here for Tahlequah, because again, every single match they've played has all ended in straight sets, whether they've won it or lost it. So again, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But with that being said, we're about to get the announcements of both sides, I believe, followed by the national anthem. So without further ado, I don't want to pass it up if it's going to be, just silence for a second, but I want to throw it over to the PA table here in a moment. But before we get there, might as well point out McAlester, the home side on the right side of your screen right now, going to be wearing their black home uniforms with gold numbering on the front and on the back. And with that, here is the PA table announcer.
Nomination forms at the athletic webpage, www.mcalesterathletics.org. The Oklahoma Secondary School Athletic Association and the McAlester Public Schools promote good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Spectators are asked to support tonight's game by refraining from derogatory comments or behavior. We ask you to support the competitors, the coaches, and the officials in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Remember, whether you are on the field or in the stands, be a good sport. Fans, would you please stand? And gentlemen, would you please remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem? Before the playing of the anthem, we will recognize a moment of silence so that you may reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in other silent activity. We ask that you be respectful to others around you during this moment of silence. Thank you. And now to honor America and our brave women and men serving our country throughout the world, please join in the playing of our national anthem. And now your starting lineups, beginning with our men's team, the Tahlequah Tigers. Number 1, Chloe Frazier. Number 6, Bryn Calvert. Number 7, Samantha Cochran. Number 8, Marcy Gilbert. Number 9, Madeline Moore. And number 10, Lauren Stevens. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, get up on your feet and let's make some noise for your McAlester Lady Bucks. Tonight's starting lineup, number 1, Trinity Shears. Number 6, Tammy Morgan. Number 21, Nadia Thomas. Number 12, Kylie Swing. Number 19, Shelly Johnson. Number 31, Dallas Calderon. And our libero, number 4, Lexi Keeper. And my favorite, the head coach, Chris Grimes. Assistant coach, Samantha Moore. Our lovely and talented managers, Erica Galvez and Megan Jackson. Thank you, ladies. Let's play ball.
Okay, well, As you just heard, the starting lineups, we'll go through it really quickly. For McAlester, we've got Trinity Bashirs, Lexi Peacoat, Tinley Morgan, Kylie Swing, Chevy Dotson, and Dallas Calderon. We've also, on the Tahlequah side, we've got Chloe Frazier, Bryn Fowler, Samantha Cochran, Carson Gilbert, Madeline Moore, and Lauren Stevens. If I missed any starters, I apologize, but their names will get said here momentarily, I would imagine. So,
Thank you.
sorry about that, yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, guys, we are just about ready to go here from McAlester. Time now is 7:14. First serve time probably going to come within the next 2 minutes here. Both sides wearing black jerseys, so if you get confused, just be sure you're following along. If you have us on mute, turn us off mute. If you're watching on closed captions, I understand that too. Good luck with, the way I talk. Also, I can't imagine closed captions would go well with me, so
Every now and then they work.
they'd catch up, yeah, every now and then, but either way, McAlester on the right side. If you can tell the difference on the video camera, it's in the numbers. McAllister's numbers are gold. They've also got stripes on the arm, more stripes on the arms than Tahlequah does. Tahlequah's on the left side here with white numbering on the front and the back. McAlester with gold numbering on the front and the back with that McAlester right across the back shoulder blades. So we are just about ready to go.
Everyone's getting set and referees are doing their final checks, it looks like.
Coach Burns out giving his team some signals here as we're getting ready to set up. Looks like the same thing for Coach Knife Chief over there for the Lady Tigers as well.
Looks like the referees are checking with something with the Tahlequah head coach.
I wonder maybe, I don't know if they were looking at a player issue or something,
Just
but
making sure everyone was
Yeah.
in the right rotation,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
and the libero is actually also out there for Tahlequah, not for the Lady Buffaloes at the moment. But here comes the first service from Calderon from the near right side, and we are underway with the first service here. Here is the setup, the attack, and that is going to be a point early here for Tahlequah. 1-0 here already. As now service will switch back to the Lady Tigers on the left side of your screen. And so now for service, we've got number 2, which I did not get written down here. That is Madison Sharon. Here's her service. It's a good one, and it's played well by Peacoat. It's up over to Dotson. The setup for the kill. It hits the net, and now it's a free ball up in the air. Here's the setup, middle of the floor, left side. And the free ball back over to the Lady Buffaloes. Here's the setup at the netting. The rise, the send for the kill. It's out of play, too strong from Trinity Bashirs that time. And it's now 2-0 Lady Tigers. So right now it's been the team on the left side in black that has fared better so far. Here comes the service here from McAlester. And, man, that might have gone out, but saved as it was hit by Samantha Cochran. And it falls to the ground to give McAlester. Oh, I thought I had it right. The scoreboard says 2-1 Lady Buffaloes. So.
Okay, well, I was going off the scoreboard, so we will.
Now it says
change.
2-2. So we're even.
Okay.
All right. Even across. Here's the kill, and that is going to fall in for Tahlequah. Looked like that might have been Bryn Fowler with the kill, and I think it was. We're going to go ahead and give her that one. I'm a little bit behind on the statting here for Tahlequah. I apologize. That's only one of their 3, as they now lead the Buffaloes by 1. Service from the back left side here from Carson Gilbert. She sends it over. That looks long, and it is. Nice eyes that time from Peacoat and also from Tinley Morgan. And we're even once more. And again, if you guys missed the intro, Lady Buffaloes, they're riding a 3-game losing skid while Tahlequah a 2-game win streak. There's the nice serve. The setup for the send, not very strong, but finds some open court, as I believe that was Samantha Cochran. Her first point, and it's 3-4.
Looks like we got a substitution for Tahlequah, 1 in for 5.
That is Chloe Frazier coming in here for Tahlequah. Also, we had a substitute, looks like, I think 24 came in here for McAlester, which is Diana Hurtado, and they go right at her, and that is going to fall off of her arms and out of play, and so that point goes to Tahlequah. So now they're back on the high side. It's kind of just a teeter-totter going back and forth here points-wise.
It should be 5-3.
That was what I thought, too.
I'm going to keep my score.
And the service, another strong one that time from Lauren Stevens. That's a couple times she sent it out the back, and now it says that it's 4-4.
I'm going to hold my score just in case.
About to say, I thought it was 4-5 Tahlequah, but, I mean, I'll take the tie here. As we're even at 4, Lexi Peacoat with the service. That one bounces off of Fowler. The setup, they're going to go for the spike. No, man, and some miscommunication. Had to just send a free ball over that time. Now the setup off the netting. Actually, that was a block that time right at the net by Chloe Frazier, looked like. And so now it's 4-5. There is that 5 for Tahlequah that we thought they'd already had. So by our score, we have 4-6,
right.
Correct?
Yes.
And service once more. Looked like that was Fowler. And another one. That is the third serve that has gone long. Nice heads-up play that time from the Lady Buffaloes. When you're being handed free points in volleyball, it's so important that you take it.
And if the score hasn't changed on the scoreboard by the end of the set, we'll update it on our end, folks.
So it's 5-5 according to the McAlester score. I believe it's 5-6 according to ours, correct?
Yes.
So Chloe Frazier with the send, a diving dig, but can't keep it in play. And it goes back to Tahlequah, who has a 1-point lead. They haven't changed the scoreboard, though.
Okay, yeah, I'm keeping my score.
I'm not going to lie, I am a little lost now. So the service once more. It's off the backside of, I believe that's Calderon. Oh, that's Hurtado, I beg your pardon. Now Calderon sends it over. The setup for Gilbert. She sends it over for the kill off the hands of Lexi Peacoat. And now it's 5-7. They did give they're still a point behind on our account, I think, but now they're updated to what we thought. Right. So it's 5-7. Here's the service from Samantha Cochran off the backside. Peacoat, the setup, they're just going to have to send it over here. Don't have a chance to set up a spike. Although they're going to try to do that here on the Tahlequah side. Frazier rises and knocks it in. That's another kill for her.
Tahlequah starting to go on a run.
Believe that she has 3 of the 8 so far, if not more, but you are correct, Nate. And that service, man, that's close. What are they going to say? Man, they're going to give it to her. Man, that had to have been right on the line from Samantha Cochran. So I have 6 of their 9 points totaled up so far. Actually, 7 of their 9. 4 of them belonging to Chloe Frazier. Another service. That one is in as well. That is an ace. Once again for Samantha Cochran. Go ahead and tally that. And now it's 5-10. As you mentioned, Nate, they are on a run. Believe it was 5-5 according to McAllister's score.
Right.
So it's a 5-0 run, and that one does go out. That's what they were waiting on.
The old announcer jinx right there.
I know. And now it's 6-10, Lady Buffaloes trailing it. And for those that are unfamiliar, we go to 25 in the first 3 or 4 sets. If it goes all the way to 5 sets, then that final set is just 15. So we're going to 25 here, as that serve does not clear the netting that time from Tinley Morgan. And now it's 6-11 Tahlequah. But this is not even close to being an insurmountable deficit here for the Lady Buffaloes. I mean, we saw crazier things last year.
Well, we saw crazier things against Seminole. McAlester came back from a 9-point deficit in the final set.
And a high serve goes off the fingertips that time of Nevaeh Thomas, and that's another Tahlequah point.
And it was about this point, actually a few more points ahead, that Coach Burns took a timeout in that final set against Seminole and really got his team going for that final set.
Frazier with the serve that time. McAlester on the return. They're going to go for the setup once more for Gilbert. She sends one that's blocked at the netting, and now the setup. Will McAlester get a chance to spike one over? It's a free send, but it's blocked into the net and hit again, which means they hit it too many times, and McAlester gets the point. It's 7-12. Nice job that time from the Lady Buffs. And I believe that was Tinley Morgan coming off as Lexi Peacoat and as Trinity Brashears. So now, service from Calderon. Down by 5, a good serve right off the hands of Gilbert, and trying to send it was Nevaeh Thomas, but she sends it right into the netting, and that goes right back to the Lady Tigers. That's at 7-13, and now we've got some rotations being made here. Going back for service this time is Madison Sharon for Tahlequah on the left side of your screen. It's just out of your range of seeing here. But now she sends it over to Peacoat. Peacoat sets it up. Over to Dotson. Dotson now to Bashirs. She'll send it too strong out of play. And Tahlequah is doubling up the Lady Buffaloes here early. It was once 5-5. Since then, it's a 9-2 run. Another substitution for the Lady Buffaloes on the rotation coming out is Trinity Bashirs. Checking in now is Natalie Molina. So service once more from Sharon, and that one is going to bounce off a couple of Lady Buffaloes and hit the deck. So now it's going to continue this run. It's a 10-2 run here for the Lady Tigers.
And McAllister's just got to get some kind of momentum going on their side.
Just got to steal a point here or there. Try to get the ball rolling your way a little bit. Starts with the return on this serve from Sharon, and a nice eye from Pico. That was too long. I mean, Tahlequah has shown you they're going to do that. I believe half of the McAlester points have been because of the long send from Tahlequah. So now here is the service. Tahlequah with the setup, going for the kill. Pico digs it out. McAlester with the send, too strong on the right hand from Nevaeh Thomas, who's going for the spike. Just not able to put 2 points together in a row. It's been you steal a point back, and then Tahlequah adds 2 or 3 more.
Right. You got a point now. You just got to keep that momentum.
And we've got a whistle here, I believe, cross the net. Yeah, they're going to say it was on 21 and Nevaeh Thomas. And so that point is awarded to the Lady Tigers. And now they're up 17-8. And if trends follow with, the way this one is playing out so far, I'll finish this thought here in a moment. Lady Buffaloes trying to go for the return. Some miscommunication, and the free send is going to result in another point for Tahlequah. Well, right now things are not looking good as Chris Burns is going to take a timeout to talk about it. If Tahlequah wins this first set, again, we're just going off of trends of how the season has gone. They have not lost a single set in which they have won set number 1, if that makes sense. They end up sweeping when they do that, or vice versa if they lose. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take probably just a 30-second break here as the Lady Buffaloes trail at 8-18 in set number 1 on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Prime Structures is your local manufacturer of portable buildings. From storage sheds, portable garages, and portable barns to custom builds such as chicken coops and greenhouses. Prime Structures is the only one who builds their buildings here in McAlester using local resources and local labor. They also offer metal carports, RV covers, and metal garages. Local ownership with buildings built in McAlester means factory direct pricing for the customer, saving you money. Free local delivery is also provided. Prime Structures in McAlester, locally owned by Brent and Alicia Case at 1702 South George 9 Expressway, 918-525-4101. See us on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, welcome back mid-action. We just had the serve from Tahlequah. Now McAlester, they're going to try and steal one back, and they just about do, and they do. Almost a nice dig out that time by the libero for Tahlequah. But McAlester, they get a point back as it's 9-18. They're still being doubled up, though. They've got a ways to go to climb back into this one. But once again, that was almost a really nice play by Mackenzie Whitman. Go ahead and write that name down really quick. Let's see if McAlester can get to double digits here and just put more than 1 point in a row together. Here's the service. Tahlequah with the setup. Far side over to Cochran, and that's blocked at the netting, and that's a point for the Lady Buffaloes. Nice defense by Molina that time. And now they've cracked double digits. They've put 2 points in a row together. Let's see if they can keep the ball rolling here.
And Chase, this is exactly what we saw against Seminole the other day. It was 2 consecutive. They went for 9 consecutive, and they're trying to go for 3 here.
Almost had a really good opportunity there. And as you mentioned, hopefully we can see it roll like you guys did a week ago. Set up at the net for Cochran once more. It's blocked again. And another point for the Lady Buffaloes. They're going to say she reached over the net. So Cochran gets knocked with it again, and the Lady Buffaloes, they put 3 in a row together. They've now taken that deficit from 10 to 7. Here's the service. It's a good one, and it's dug out well by the Lady Tigers. And the return, nice shot from Bren Fowler. She drops one in for her second point of the match. And that lead goes back to 8 as it's 19-11 in the set number 1. And again, we will play the best of 5 here, so the first to win 3 sets. Service from Laura Stevens, and that doesn't get over the netting. So Tahlequah, again, keeping McAlester in it. And it's now 12-19. We've got a substitute. Coming in is Dallas Calderon. And now Lexi Peacoat on the back right side. She'll give service. Near side, setup return from Fowler, and the setup is not high enough, and they're not going to get it over the netting. Lady Buffaloes get another point back. It's 13-19. Slowly crawling back here. They trailed by as many as 10. They're now down by 6. Peacoat on the service. Tahlequah, we'll see what they have in response here. Cochran at the net. It's blocked, and the setup is not able to be sent over in time. Too many hits by the Lady Buffaloes. Just too many ricochets. And we've got a substitution here. Sitting down for Tahlequah is Sharon. Checking back in is Madeline Moore. 13-20, 5 points away from a, well, there's an ace very quickly, so now it's down to 4 for Bryn Fowler. But just 4 points away from a set 1 win. And again, when they've gone on to win set number 1, they've gone on to sweep every single time this season through 8 games. It's not exactly a small sample size as Peacoat returns the serve, but nobody is there to clean it up. Man, that was a nasty one. You could pretty much call that an ace for Bryn Fowler, her 4th point.
Very impressive so far.
Yeah, it's been by committee. Bryn Fowler, the service, and another ace. That one goes off the mitts of Bryn Fowler into the back railing. And now it's just 2 points away, and McAlester is going to take a timeout. And we'll take it with them. We'll be back here in about 30 seconds for the conclusion of set number 1 between the Buffaloes and the Lady Tigers on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
All right, welcome back after that 30-second break, and we're jumping back into it with McAlester down by 10 here, 23-13 in set 1. Peacoat tries to dig out that service, which ends up hitting the antenna. That is another point on another ace from Bryn Fowler. I believe that's her 3rd here of just this, of the set. So now match point for the Tigers. Service, and that's not going to be returned. And Lady Buffs fall in set number 1, 13-25 to the Lady Tigers. So that'll do it for set number 1. I know we just took a commercial break, but now we're going to take a full 90-second commercial break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for set number 2. Again, you are watching McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Loftus Furniture of McAlester, a proud sponsor of Lady Buffalo Athletics, a family-owned business supporting our McAlester High School sports. Loftus Furniture, 4th-generation business with deep roots in Southeast Oklahoma. One of Southeast Oklahoma's largest furniture stores. 700 East Carl Albert Parkway. The right time, the right place, the right price. Prime Structures is your local manufacturer of portable buildings. From storage sheds, portable garages, and portable barns to custom builds such as chicken coops and greenhouses. Prime Structures is the only one who builds their buildings here in McAlester using local resources and local labor. They also offer metal carports, RV covers, and metal garages. Local ownership with buildings built at McAlester means factory direct pricing for the customer, saving you money. Free local delivery is also provided. Prime Structures in McAlester, locally owned by Brent and Alicia Case at 1702 South George 9 Expressway, 918-525-4101. See us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Now, we are just about set 4, set number 2. I also need to make a correction. A bit ago, I mentioned it was match point. It was just set point. We are not to match point yet. That'll not come for, hopefully, a good amount more sets. But
at least 3 more sets.
At least 3 more sets, yes. I will say, again, I'm kind of beating a dead horse, but just want to reiterate this point just because I'd never seen it before. and we have an 8-game sample size so far. Tahlequah, when they've won the first set, they have gone on to sweep each time. That means whether they've played 2 or 3 sets, they've gone on to win each one. So if that follows suit, McAlester, they might be in trouble. We'll see if they can change the way things have played out so far. And that might be an ace. It's not. They're going to say it was not touched by a Lady Buffalo. Tahlequah wants to say that it was touched. But I don't think they're going to give it to him. I think that's going to go to McAlester. And I think that's the right call.
I believe it was the right call. I didn't see it be touched. And the head official is signaling a point for McAlester.
Peacoat was close. She brought her hands up but dropped him down. And that ball flew harmlessly to the ground to give McAlester a point. But the first service here of set number 2 for the Lady Buffaloes. Man, nice save on the dig out that time by, it looked like it might have been Kylie Swing. The return, though, will not stay in play. So Tahlequah evens it up early here. It's 1 apiece in set number 2. I believe it's 1 apiece. There it is. Service from Carson Gilbert, too strong. Again, Tahlequah will do it. They've shown you that time and time again. And you see the Lady Buffaloes, I mean, they've been burned on it a couple of times, but waiting to see where the serve falls at. Because, again, I mean, I feel like we're riding right around the 50 to 60% rate of it going out. So, service, it's a high one from McAlester. Here's a setup at the net, and it's not a good one, as the return is not even able to send over from Bryn Fowler. They were trying to set either her or, I believe, Cochran up for a spike, and they couldn't, and now McAlester, they lead at 3-1.
Right now, it seems like Tahlequah might be their worst enemy in this game.
That's what it's been so far. And the service is going to be out of play that time from Tinley Morgan. So now it's been unforced errors on each side. It's been a little sloppy on both sides here. But, I mean, when you go through the slew of, tournament play that they have, I mean, you're a little bit beaten up, after the first half of the season because both these teams are about midway through their schedules.
And this is still a very young team from McAlester.
Yeah. Service now from Stevens. They're going to set one up on the send from Berkeley Roberts, I beg your pardon. The return is going to be out of play. Too strong on the right hand from Samantha Cochran. And now Buffalo's riding kind of that 1 to 2 point lead, which again is still, it's tied for their largest lead so far today. And we're only in set number 2. But checking in is Trinity Brashears here for the Lady Buffaloes as Lexi Peacoat takes a seat. Service from Dallas Calderon. It's a strong one. Nice return that time from Fowler. The setup over to Frazier. It's blocked at the netting, but not able to return in time as it was hit a couple of times. Oh, they're going to say it was lifted.
Yeah.
From the Lady Buffaloes. So either way, it's a point for the Tigers. So now Bryn Fowler, she's shown you a couple times that she can send it long, but also she's got an ace in the hole as she's done it more than once. Peacoat, man, the nice save almost going out of play. That time was swing, and McAlester somehow gets it back over on what was a near ace once more for the Tigers. Now the setup for McAlester. Over to Brashears. Brashears, the free ball send, and now it's back to the Tigers. They're going to go for the spike. Cochran, it's blocked, but once again, McAlester there. Roberts, the setup. Over to Brashears. No, that's actually Roberts once more at the netting, and it's just barely tipped over the fingers of that front line of Brashears and Roberts. And Tahlequah ties it up for the first time this set. It's 4-4.
Great effort by McAlester on that point.
That was a great rally back and forth as Berkeley Roberts sits down. Checking in is Nevaeh Thomas, the junior, for the Lady Buffaloes. And there we go. Once again, I told you, Bryn Fowler has shown you she will send it long, as she just did. It's 5-4 now. Lady Buffaloes up by 1. They've spent more time up in this set than they did in set number 1. Fowler on the nice return, and man, they almost found the open spot. Nevaeh Thomas just kind of free ball sends it over. And now back to Frazier with 2 hands, trying to find an open spot, and she does in the back left side. That's just a high IQ play by Chloe Frazier.
I mean, we use this phrase in baseball all the time. Hit it where they ain't.
Yeah. I guess I keep wanting to say finds open grass. You know, that's where I keep, that's kind of just where my tongue kind of wants to go, from calling baseball and football as well. But just kind of finding that open spot. Once again, it's not going to be Frazier this time. Instead, I think that stayed in from Carson Gilbert, and it did. Lexi Peacoat is not happy with that call. She had a better look at it than me, so maybe she has a better point of view on it. But either way, they gave it to Tahlequah.
I think that was probably the right call.
It was close, but again, can't really tell from here. Man, that would be a nice save if it was, but not quite. kind of pinballed off Chevy Dotson and then Lexi Picote, and then just throwing her right hand. Tinley Morgan tried to send it back over, but no dice. Lady Buffaloes are now on the bad side of a 5. As soon as I say that, it was a 5-1 run, and now McAlester gets a point back. It's 6-7, and that's off a serve that goes into the netting.
And you don't want Tahlequah to get that momentum that they had back in that first set.
And Thomas, a serve that goes underneath the netting, and it's just been unforced errors on both sides. Both teams had just, and as you mentioned it, Nate, it's a young team, and I talked about it earlier, only 5 seniors on this squad. And I believe only 2 of them are even in the starting lineup. So, again, it's a young team. You got a lot of youngsters out there. Picote digs out that serve. And the spike and the kill for Tinley Morgan. I feel like that's the first time. Oh, they're going to say she go over the line?
I think so. I'm not sure what the call was, but it is Tahlequah's point.
Man, that would have been the first kill, I feel like, for the Lady Buffaloes. But instead, Tahlequah gets the point, and it's 9-6. Near the netting, swing. We'll try it once more, and that's blocked at the net. And, man, almost reaching over that time. But McAlester gets the point off the deflected send. That goes off the arms of Lauren Stevens and out of play, which gives McAlester the point back at 7-9. And now we'll see if they can throw something together as they trail by 2. They led by as many as 2 here in this set. We've got a substitution as Trinity Bashirs comes out. Dallas Calderon checks back in. But the libero, once again, it's Picote. Here's her send, and just outside of that white line. Nice eye by Mackenzie Whitman. And in rotation, we've got a substitution here on the Tahlequah side. Sharon checking back in. Sitting down is Madeline Moore. Speaking of Sharon, she's going to go ahead and send it over here as she's got the service. That's right over to Berkeley Roberts. Over to swing, and swing over to Dotson, and Chevy Dotson couldn't find a spot.
Tahlequah's rolling again, Chase.
They are. They're up by 4 now, and McAlester kind of, the way they're playing almost reminds me a little bit of what I'll kind of quote my old coach, Dwayne Hampton, here in a moment, as that return is not able to be made after Picote had the setup. For the Lady Buffs, it looks a lot like they're living on a prayer. That's what I had an old coach, Dwayne Hampton. He told me that my floater game was a lot like a Bon Jovi song. He said, I'm just living on a prayer. So
BG would be proud of that one.
Yeah, it was, that's right. That's very BG coded. The service here from Moore, dug out by Picote. Over to swing, and that's returned back to her. Nice deflection, but that point is going to fare on the side of Tahlequah as they go up 7-13. But the Buffaloes, a lot of the times, it looks like almost they're just trying to hit it to get it up to save it from going off the ground. For Tahlequah, you see a lot more of setups for spikes and for kills as well, and the Buffaloes just haven't had that opportunity, and that's because they've been in this situation a lot. Picote, man, what a nice save. If it misses the Jumbotron, it's fair, and it did somehow. And that's a point for the Lady Buffaloes. I don't know how they kept that in, but they did. A magician act by Lexi Picote on the back end to save it. They somehow, I said Jumbotron, but it's the big scoreboard. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It missed that. It missed the basketball goals back here. I don't know how, but either way, it was written in the stars as McAlester gets that point back. It's 8-13. That service is dug out, but it's a great one as she kind of found that shallow middle spot where you're not really able to full-on dive and dig it out, which we saw Samantha Cochran tried to do, but instead it is a point for Chevy Dotson and an ace. We'll see if she can get another one. Here's her service. And that's a good send-over, but dug out well by Picote at the net. It's blocked by Tahlequah, and they'll get a point. 9-14. Tahlequah well on their way right now here in set number 2, but McAlester has kept it closer as they fell down by as many as 10. And that service, man, just barely got over the netting. The send back over to the left side. Whitman the setup. Over to Moore. Moore over to Stevens, and the nice dig out by Picote as she dives for it. Hits the net, comes back and sent by swing. They're going to try and set up one more time, and the send is nice play. It's high up in the air, and some miscommunication between Tinley Morgan and Chevy Dotson leads to an unfortunate bounce. Nobody really knew what to do off of that dig out by the Lady Buffalo. So now they trail it by 6. It's 9-15. Another service, that one over to Dotson, set up by Roberts, and the free send from Morgan. And going for the spike once more, and that's going to fall just over the netting. McAlester trying to return it. Here's Calderon with 2 hands. We'll go for a kill here at the netting. Oh, man, just a little punch shot. And it's a nice return by Morgan. A nice rally we've got going back and forth, and that's going to fall for the Lady Buffaloes. Tinley Morgan.
She had a great match against Seminole the other day, and she's starting to show out again here.
In set number 2, Tinley Morgan making her name heard as a substitution for Berkeley Roberts. Think that's Nevaeh Thomas.
And folks, remember her name. She is a freshman.
That is very true. The only freshman on this lineup here, or for the lineup that has played for the Lady Buffaloes. Chevy Dotson once again now over to Morgan, and just out. So Tinley Morgan a little strong. But McAlester, they're very much in this as they trail at 10-16 in set number 2 as they're down a set to 1. They're in danger, though. If they lose this set, just one more set loss would be a sweep in favor of the Lady Tigers. And Peacoat over to Swing. Swing sends it over. And that was Chevy Dotson, I beg your pardon. Frazier now with 2 hands, and no Lady Buffalo went for it. One of the easier points you're going to see here for the Lady Tigers as Frazier's done what she did in the first set, finds an open spot. Now here comes service. Going up forward is Cochran. She just has to punch at it. Was in an awkward spot, but once again, we've got a setup. Rising is Morgan. Morgan with the kill. Is it in? It is. On the near side. Tinley Morgan. She scored the last 2 for the Lady Buffs. It's going to send back Dallas Calderon on the backside for her service. Down by 6. Let's see if the Buffaloes can make a run here. Still plenty of game left here in this second set. Nice service. Dug out. It's not going to be a great send back from Tahlequah. It's just a free ball here. Chevy Dotson going to set it up on the far side and saved by the Lady Tigers. And here we roll along again. That was a nice attempt, though, by Kylie Swing. Over to Dotson. Dotson this time. It's going over to Thomas. Thomas, and she might have it. Let's see if they can dig it out. Stevens up in the air, and once again, they dig it out. Cochran, nice job for the Tigers. And we've got a nice rally back and forth here. Tahlequah, they've not been in great spots, though, during this rally, but they end up with the point. The over-the-head send by Chloe Frazier. Tinley Morgan was not able to dig that out. Couple of nice rallies here, Nate.
Yeah, and I do want to apologize. We did have some technical issues for a moment, but I believe we've got those mostly figured out, and as soon as I say that.
All right, here we go. 11-18, the service, and that's an ace. That is for Bryn Fowler. Another ace. That is her third, not just in this set, but overall, as we're in set number 2, and it's 11-19. Again, the Lady Tigers are cooking. Nevaeh Thomas is going to check out. And for the first time in this one, we've got Hadley Robbins, a sophomore, checking in. But service again, this one from Bryn Fowler, and that one's going to go long.
Very, very long.
And that is something that they'll do, just they haven't done it nearly as much in set number 2. McAlester down 12-19 with service. Pretty good serve. The setup, just barely tossed over here back to McAllister's side. The high setup for Swing. Swing now over to Robbins, and that's going to be a point for the Lady Buffaloes. Robbins comes in and makes an instant impact. McAlester down by 6. This is kind of the realm of where they hung around at before things kind of fell apart at the end in set number 1. But service once more from the Lady Buffaloes, from Chevy Dotson, and another pointer. They're going to say that they reached. They're going to give it to McAlester. Yep.
McAlester has more points in this set than they did in set 1 now.
Lost set 1, 13-25. You are correct, Nate. They've got 14 here. Service once more from Dotson. It's a good one, man. She's got some speed on it. As soon as I say that, Chloe Frazier rises up. She just tried to get actually, that was Robbins. Robbins with the point. Hadley Robbins, again, she's come in and she scored 2 points. I believe 2 of the last 4 belong to her. And now service is going to go back to Berkeley Roberts, who has just checked in. Robbins, who again scored 2 points. She goes to the bench here. Service, Lady Buffs down by 5. At the net. A 2-man game, but that that spike is blocked. Let's see who they give it to. They're going to give that to the Lady Buffaloes. So an infraction here against the Lady Tigers at the netting.
I want to say she crossed that line.
That's what it looked like. They keep giving this signal right here. So that's got to be what my guess is. So down by 4, Lady Buffaloes. Trail at 16-20. Pico, the setup for Morgan. Tinley Morgan sends it back over to Cochran. She'll set it up. Let's see who goes for the hit here. It's Carson Gilbert, and
another one.
Lady Buffaloes get it once more. Over again. So Tahlequah cannot get out of their own way. So here comes the service from Berkeley Roberts. Roberts on the serve. It's a good one. The setup for Gilbert, and it's blocked at the net, and McAlester hanging around. 4 straight points, and they trail at 18-20 in set number 2. We've got a timeout. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we're going to guess 30 seconds. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Loftus Furniture of McAlester, a proud sponsor of Lady Buffalo Athletics, a family-owned business supporting our McAlester High School sports. Loftus Furniture, 4th-generation business with deep roots in Southeast Oklahoma. One of Southeast Oklahoma's largest furniture stores. 700 East Carl Albert Parkway. The right time, the right place, the right price.
All right, guys, welcome back. That was just about a 30-second timeout. And set 2 has gotten much more interesting. It's the first of 25 here in set number 2, just as it is in sets 1 through 4 if you get to 4. McAlester trails at 1-0. And here in set 2, they trail at 18-20. They were down, though, by as many as 7 in the set. Now back to 2. And another point. That is an ace for Berkeley Roberts. And it's a 1-point game. Trying to break this streak of Tahlequah, going on to win every set after winning the first. We'll see if that changes tonight. Another service here from Roberts. That one's high up in the air for Carson Gilbert. She tries to just palm it over, and unfortunately that return from Kylie Swing falls on the wrong side of the white line. And it's 19-21, and we've got a rotation here. Checking back in is Lauren Stevens here for the Lady Tigers, and the service comes from Mackenzie Whitman, the libero here. Here's her service. Over to Pico, libero to libero. The setup now over to Swing. Swing to Morgan. Morgan tries to find backside, and that return hits the ceiling, and it's going to go out of play. McAlester storming back here with a stampede of their own. It's 20-21 with a chance to knot things up here on the service from Pico.
I will say this team is young, but they do not know how to quit.
You guys had a similar thing happen last week.
Right. McAlester was down in the 3rd set by 9 points. Ended up coming back to win that set pretty handily.
We'll see if they can win this one here. We'll find out what happens as Swing has the set up for Morgan. She'll rise up, go for the kill, and she ties it. Tinley Morgan, the freshman. Just as you mentioned, Nate, I'll echo it again. Folks, remember that name. Only a freshman, and she's making an impact. A chance to take the lead. The service from Pico. At the netting, it's going to be out of play. I thought that touched a Tiger on the way back, but
it did look like it went just out of play.
Yeah, it did. I thought it was last touched by a Tiger, but I'm guessing it just bounced off the net there. So McAlester had the chance, although they tied it up. So now Tahlequah probably playing with a little bit more tension, probably pressing a little bit more. Service from Sharon. Nice dig out from the Lady Buffaloes, but a great return from Bryn Fowler. Since McAlester has tied it up, Tahlequah has punched back hard with 2 points of their own to make it 23-21. And just a reminder, each set is win by 2. So if McAlester gets 24, the winning score has to be 26 or more. That service at the net, the return at the net goes back and forth. Nice save with the one hand by Roberts, but we might be in trouble, and the Lady Buffs are. Kylie Swing trying to knock it over her head, going out of play, and now they trail at 24-21. So this is what I was talking about. If McAlester can get back and make it 24, that means that Tahlequah has to score at least 26.
Right.
You got to win by 2. But now, technically, this is set point on the service. Over to Swing. Swing to Dotson. Dotson. It's dug out well by Fowler. Sharon. Over to Gilbert. Gilbert sends it over. Let's see what Swing does. Over from Morgan. She'll go up and send it with the right hand, and Whitman's there. Over to Moore once more. Far side, Gilbert, and she finds the back left side with precision. A great play by the Tigers to take set number 2. 25-21. They're now one set away from a sweep, continuing what they've done in every single match so far. We've got 3 minutes until the start of set number 3. We're going to go ahead and take about a break. That's half that time, about a minute and a half, and then we'll come back and get you ready for set number 3. We're right here live on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Prime Structures is your local manufacturer of portable buildings. From storage sheds, portable garages, and portable barns to custom builds such as chicken coops and greenhouses. Prime Structures is the only one who builds their buildings here in McAlester using local resources and local labor. They also offer metal carports, RV covers, and metal garages. Local ownership with buildings built at McAlester means factory direct pricing for the customer, saving you money. Free local delivery is also provided. Prime Structures in McAlester, locally owned by Brent and Alicia Case at 1702 South Georgia 9 Expressway, 918-525-4101. See us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Loftus Furniture of McAlester, a proud sponsor of Lady Buffalo Athletics, a family-owned business supporting our McAlester High School sports. Loftus Furniture, 4th-generation business with deep roots in Southeast Oklahoma, one of Southeast Oklahoma's largest furniture stores. 700 East Carl Albert Parkway. The right time, the right place, the right price.
Welcome back, everybody, to what could be the deciding set number 3 between the Tahlequah Lady Tigers on the road here against your McAlester Lady Buffaloes, as they fell in 2 sets so far. In set number 1, they fell 13-25. That one got out of hand early, and they never really could catch back up. But set number 2 was different. McAlester took an early 2-set lead, but then Tahlequah punched back. They went up by as many as 6 in set number 2.
That sounds right.
It was either 6 or 7, and McAlester came all the way back to tie it up at 21, but then it was a 4-0 run to close things out for Tahlequah to win the set 25-21. But one thing that we've talked about so far, every time Tahlequah has won the first set, they've won the next 2 or the one right after it to sweep their opponent. And so far, that's holding true. Mm-hmm. I think for McAlester, if you can come out and at least just win this set, obviously you want to win the match. Moral victories don't really mean a lot. And I'm not saying they're going to lose if they win this set, but at least winning a set here could do a lot for this young team against a team that, as we've already talked about, I'm not going to keep repeating it, but every time they've won a set, they've swept. So I think if you could come in here and at least take one of those away, that's something you can build on.
Right.
In which you found something. In set number 2, Tahlequah, you were letting them make those mistakes, but then not just that, you were firing back and forcing them to make mistakes instead of them being unforced. And I think that's what makes the difference between kind of an unexperienced team and maybe a bit older, more experienced team, in which you'll find that with this team that's got a lot of talent. I mean, you can see it. This team is just littered with talent. They're kind of working out the kinks here. As we are underway in set number 3. Lexi Pico, man, having to lay out for that was kind of an awkward setup there, just kind of running around. And that one, is it out or is it in? If it's in, it's going to be for Tahlequah. It's not. It's just out of play on the send from Lauren Stevens going for the kill. So now McAlester takes an early 1-0 lead. And what could be the final set of the day. Service once again from Swing. I was a little behind there. I apologize. But the return from Stevens, it did hit a Lady Buff on the hand, but then it fell just down to the court. And that's how things got evened up here as Madison Sharon checks in, and she's going to give first service here for Tahlequah in set number 3 as she sits down Carson Gilbert. Moore on the serve. Pico tries to dig it out, takes a weird bounce, but Morgan is right there. And Calderon, and she sends it over. Great job that time. As the return, it's out of play just beyond the white line from, I believe that's Gilbert.
And again, they're just letting Tahlequah make these mistakes. I mean, if they're going to give you these free points, let them.
Yeah, might as well take them. So Nevaeh Thomas on the serve. It's a good one. Tahlequah not really returning it how they'd like, I would assume. But now it's back to McAlester for swing. She'll set it up for Morgan for the kill, but she sends it into the net. And we're even. And Nevaeh Thomas is looking for a substitution here as she'll sub out. Coming back in is Berkeley Roberts, a sophomore. One of two younger underclassmen on the floor. Everybody else is a junior and or a senior. Swing once again to Calderon. Calderon, and that is a nice return that time from Moore on the opposite side. Once again, Tinley Morgan, she'll rise up, and another nice defensive play by Tahlequah, but the offensive side of it doesn't go as planned after a nicely played and executed defensive set. And now McAlester retakes the lead 3-2. And Natalia Molina, she'll check in here for the Lady Buffaloes. I didn't see who she sat down. My guess, that was going to be my guess because I didn't see the gold jersey.
And that is a point for McAlester. Just the short serve, almost an ace.
I appreciate you doing that, but my phone alarm started going off for some reason. It freaked me out for a second. But yes, McAlester getting a point back there. It's 4-2. And Calderon, man, another strong serve. We've seen a couple of those tonight from the Lady Buffaloes, but Tahlequah is able to return it. It's over to swing. And Molina comes in and makes an instant impact. Natalia Molina. And now it's 5-2.
She's had a great set three here so far. 2 of the 5 points early on.
And let's see if she can add to it here and increase that lead. Her service, and not quite high enough. It had the speed on it, but again, it goes through the netting as Pico comes back in. And now it's 3-5. Service from Tahlequah. Nice play that time from Berkeley Roberts. And Dotson with the left hand. Nice play by Sharon. Diving, and Frazier somehow tips it over the net. And I believe she stepped over the line underneath. Yep. That is exactly what happened. So McAlester up 6-3. I don't think they've led by more than 3, though. I think that's their largest lead of any set, unless you can remember a time they were up by more.
I can't specifically remember.
I can't either. So Dotson on the service here, and McAlester, there it is. They go up by 4. Their largest lead of any set so far, 7-3. And now this is normally, I say normally, just based off the first 2 sets. This is when Tahlequah has kind of returned and made their run, whenever McAlester has kind of found some kind of ground. We'll see if that changes. Dotson on the service. Over to Frazier. Frazier. Back over to Roberts here. And again, that's Dotson to Morgan, the freshman. And I believe she stepped out before she sent it, and she did. So that point goes back to Tahlequah. Sitting down is Sharon. Coming in for her on the Tiger side is Madeline Moore. And we've got service. It's a good one, but Lexi Pico with a nice save. Over to swing to Molina. Molina, the send, it's, man, almost too strong, but either way, Tahlequah kept it in play. You'll take that every time. As Cochran sends back over to the Lady Buffaloes. Morgan will try to get a point back, and she does. Buffaloes back up by 4. She rises up for the kill. That bounced off the defender and fell to the ground. Nevaeh Thomas back in for Berkeley Roberts. The Buffaloes are riding their largest lead that they've had in any set so far. And, man, that serve, I beg your pardon, just didn't make the contact that she wanted. Looked like it just came off her hand awkwardly, but Tinley Morgan on that serve gives it back. It's now 8-5, and it goes to Samantha Cochran.
I think it went off the side of her hand on that one.
Good service from Cochran for the Lady Buffaloes, and Molina sends it to the backside. She's kind of found that spot on the back and lived there as Frazier goes for the kill, and she gets it. Not able to dig it out is Chevy Dotson. And Chloe Frazier, she is, if you're a Lady Buffalo, she is not the one you want going up on those kinds of sins, on those spikes. She's not the one. She's done a very good job of that today. She's very good at it. And a very good serve. Nice play by Morgan to keep it in play. And finding the back left side is Nevaeh Thomas.
What a play.
I think the Tahlequah side, they're going to, So we have an infraction here against the Lady Buffaloes. I think they're going to say she reached over. Yeah, I think that's what it was. She reached over So take away what would have been a great point to give them I think a 3-point lead. Instead, now it's just a 1-point lead. Would have been 9-6. Instead, it's 8-7, and now it's 8-8. Shows you how quickly things can swing.
And you can't let a team as good as Tahlequah get that kind of momentum back.
Yeah, again, just as you said, Nate, they're the number 10 team in 5A. They're a good team. Once they start believing, I mean, things get a little bit tougher for you. It's Peacoat up to Dotson, who can't send it over the net. And now McAlester has squandered, I think, 4 points in a row.
Yeah.
No, it's 5. They were up 8-4. So it's a 5-0 run here for the Tigers, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Every time McAlester seemingly had found their footing, Tahlequah came punching right back. And they've done it once more here in set 3. As Hadley Robbins checks in, action almost comes right to her, and I think it will. The setup from Dotson to Robbins. Digging that out is Stevens. She sends it back over to Peacoat. And Dotson trying to set things up for Robbins again, but that time it bounces towards the McAlester bench out of play. So an unfortunate bounce that time. And Tahlequah seems to be in business. They've got it rolling. And that's been the difference. The Lady Buffaloes have not really been able to put 4 to 5 points together in a row as Peacoat can't get that out from the back on a service ace from Samantha Cochran. And we've got a timeout from McAlester, and we'll take it with them here in set number 3 as they trail Tahlequah 8-11. You're watching McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Prime Structures is your local manufacturer of portable buildings. From storage sheds, portable garages, and portable barns to custom builds such as chicken coops and greenhouses. Prime Structures is the only one who builds their buildings here in McAlester using local resources and local labor. They also offer metal carports, RV covers, and metal garages. Local ownership with buildings built in McAlester means factory direct pricing for the customer, saving you money. Free local delivery is also provided. Prime Structures in McAlester, locally owned by Brent and Alicia Case at 1702 South George 9 Expressway, 918-525-4101. See us on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, welcome back here in set number 3. Tahlequah with the service, up 11-8 on the home Lady Buffaloes, trying to go for the sweep here, and they'll get it if they can win, right? In set 3, and Hadley Robbins out of the timeout sends it into the netting, and now McAlester has surrendered 8 straight points to Tahlequah. McAlester led 8-4. It's now 8-12. Really quickly, also want to send a shout out to our sponsors, Prime Structures, Freedom Ford, and Loftus Furniture, as McAlester gets a point back. Maybe I need to give the sponsors some more love if that's going to result in a point each time.
Yeah, return was just too long.
So 9-12. And that's what we've talked about. When they'll give you those points, you got to take them because they can roll off 8 points in a row. And that's been the difference tonight. I meant to say that earlier. That's kind of been the difference. McAlester has not really been able to get on any bigger run than maybe 3 to 4 points at a time. But Tahlequah, they've gone on 5, 6, 7, as we just saw 8-point runs at a time. And at times it's been too much for the Lady Buffs to overcome. Let's see how things go in set number 3. Nice little rally back and forth so far, switching sides a good amount. Gilbert, the send out of play. A chess match won by the Lady Buffaloes as Gilbert got a little bit impatient, sent it too strong.
And remember, against Seminole, they came back from 9 points down in the third set to win. So let's see if they can pull off something similar here.
Nice service from Peacoat as McAlester is trailing, or they trailed by as much as 4 in this set, but also led by as much as 4. The return is going to hit the ground after bouncing off a couple of Lady Tigers. McAlester responds back with 3 in a row. And it's now 11-12. Coach Burns liking what he's seeing with the claps on the near right side. Peacoat, another service. Dug out well by Cochran. The setup for Frazier, I believe, that is for Fowler, and that's high. McAlester has one chance to send it over, and they do. Nice job by Calderon. Over to Frazier again, and that is going to be a point. Almost blocked at the net, but it took a unfortunate bounce for the Lady Buffaloes on their side of the floor to give a 2-point lead back into the hands of the Lady Tigers of Tahlequah. 11-13 as Whitman steps up. Here's the service to Peacoat. Over to Dotson. Dotson to swing, going for the kill, but off the backside with the hands of Cochran as she sends it back up. And then Gilbert over to Dotson. Peacoat. And Morgan will rise up, but not a lot of gusto on it, but nice save by Gilbert and Whitman with the return. And we've gotten some really good rallies. I feel like ever since set 1, we've been kind of treated to some decent back and forth rallies on both sides. Man, nice dig out by Peacoat, and Just unfortunately, Dotson sent it in the wrong direction, and Robbins was not able to get there in time. So now it's 14-11. Again, McAlester led 8-4. It is a 10-3 run by the Lady Tigers, who again are ranked number 10 in Class 5A. This would be the 10th ranked opponent McAlester has played in 15 games. Just a juggernaut of a schedule and almost saving it. Calderon gives her team a chance. Peacoat has to send it over. That would have been the third hit. And she does. Let's see who they set it up for. It's Stevens and blocked at the netting, but Calderon couldn't get it on the other side. It falls right in front of her. And again, Tahlequah. They just proved to be too much. This squad has made a huge, huge turnaround from last year to this year, at least up to this point. Robbins will sit back down for, I believe, Nevaeh Thomas as Peacoat digs out the serve. Over to Dotson. Dotson to swing, and swing hits it right into the netting. And McAlester kind of faltering here in set number 3. Just really have not been able to find their footing ever since the strong 8-4 start here in set 3. And Tahlequah, again, just showing and continuing to do what they've done all season long, as that kill is blocked by Lauren Stevens with some strength. And the run continues. 13-3 run for Tahlequah. Lady Buffaloes are now just 8 points away from being swept here at home. But a lot of time left, and as we've seen, Tahlequah will give you some points back, as it's 12-17. And now it goes back over to Kylie Swing.
You just need to get some momentum going very quickly here.
Need to put probably 3 points together here at the very least. Nice service from her. The setup from Gilbert, from Stevens, now back to McAlester. Dotson. I believe she stepped out, or no, they're going to say she stepped over the line. Yep. One of the Lady Buffaloes stepped over the line underneath the netting. And it's 12-18. Madison Sharon will check back in here for the Lady Tigers. And just tough sledding for the Buffs. Excuse me. Water went down the wrong pipe there.
You're good.
Calderon on the return. And the Lady Buffs, man, nice dig out. And a point for Bryn Fowler. My goodness. Laying it all on the hardwood. And it comes up aces for the Lady Tigers. Man, what a play. But on the other side for McAlester, what a demoralizer. Probably thought you were going to get a point back. But now you trail by 7 instead of probably being down by 5. Calderon with the two-hand free ball. And it's back on this side for Swing. Over to, I believe that's Dotson. We've got to play at the net again, and it's blocked, but in play, and McAlester gets the point. Going over the netting that time was the Lady Tigers. And we've got another substitution. Robbins back in for Nevaeh Thomas. And it's a 6-point game here in set number 3. Service here for the Lady Buffs. It's a good one, almost an ace, but the return, I think it confused some of the Lady Buffaloes. Maybe they thought it was going to go out of play.
Yeah.
But it was a perfect return. It's one of those things where you don't have to do much. You just let the ball play you, as it fell perfectly off the hands of Whitman, and it fell in between Peacoat and Morgan as Peacoat digs out that serve. McAlester trails it by 7. Morgan rises up, and she's got the kill. The freshman once again trying to keep her Buffs in it. But Tahlequah, they're just 5 points away from a match win and their 9th match win of the season. McAlester trying to avoid their 4th straight loss.
And we talked about in the pregame, they have played a very, very tough schedule.
They have 10 of their 14 games previously, as that one goes out of the backside. McAllister's point. 10 of their previous 15 matches have been against ranked opponents.
Right.
And that includes a 6A opponent. And I believe 5 or 6, maybe even 7 5A opponents. So,
and not to mention playing Sapulpa, the 5A runner-up last year, multiple times.
Yep. And that kill rising up and sending it down into the hardwood is Bryn Fowler once more. She has put her mark on this game. As has Chloe Frazier, who subs back into the ball game. Service now, though, from Lauren Stevens. And Swing sends it up for Peacoat. Pico will give it a ride back to this side. Set up from Fowler. Fowler, and that is blocked. Cochran was trying to get the kill. Looked like it was Chevy Dotson and maybe Natalia Molina the closest to it.
Chevy Dotson, yeah.
As you just heard from the PA, Chevy Dotson goes back on this right side for service. This is a big service here. As again, McAllister's down 5. Let's see if they can get some points back. If Dotson can kind of live back in that painted area and just grab some points for her squad, that would go a very long ways here for just extending this match. As her service finds a Tiger. Frazier, far side for the kill, and it's back over to the Lady Buffaloes. A nice dig out that time by Roberts. Roberts sends it back over with 2 hands. Sharon over to Fowler, and Fowler again with another kill. It's just been so demoralizing, as each time it seems like the Lady Tigers rise up like that, they find an open spot on the floor. And I just want to reiterate, this is a young Lady Buffalo team. They're still working through things, trying to find their footing, and they'll go on a run at some point as Tinley Morgan sees her shot blocked as the comeback hits the antenna. So that shot from Cochran gives McAlester a point. I mean, they're hanging around.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only down 5. They only need 8 points to win the match, as if we're going to 25.
Win the set.
Or excuse me, yes, to win the set, not the match, I beg your pardon. But they only need 8 points for that. And, I mean, they're still right there. We've got a timeout. I don't think they're going to take the full 30, but we'll go ahead and take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Loftus Furniture of McAlester, a proud sponsor of Lady Buffalo Athletics, a family-owned business supporting our McAlester High School sports. Loftus Furniture, 4th-generation business with deep roots in Southeast Oklahoma. One of Southeast Oklahoma's largest furniture stores. 700 East Carl Albert Parkway. The right time, the right place, the right price.
Welcome back here to set number 3, and it's a very close set number 3, but it also could be the one that does the Lady Buffaloes in, as they trail at 22-17, down 2 sets to none. Again, you just need 3 set wins to win the match, and that's what Tahlequah has done in every single match they've won. They've won in straight sets. Nice dig out that time from Tinley Morgan. The Tigers, though, on the return. Frazier with the 2 hands over to Dotson. Dotson to Molina. Molina the setup for Robbins, and Robbins sends it softly, the free ball. And at the netting, who's it go to this time? Doesn't matter, as Gilbert sends it into the net. So McAlester hanging around. Just 7 points away from a set win. If you go to, that's if Tahlequah doesn't get to 24. Service now from, I think that's Robbins. And the Lady Tigers, Fowler with the 1 hand, just taps it over. Molina with the return. And Frazier, she'll go for it. And it touches a Lady Buffalo. I think that would have stayed in regardless. I know Dotson looked like maybe she thought she should have let it go, but I think that would have hit before it went out of the back yellow or the back white line.
I think it would have been close. Personally, I think that probably would have gone out, but if you're in doubt, you got to play it.
Yeah, which I don't blame her for. It's one of those where it's too close to let go, so I don't blame her there. A good serve, and it's not able to be returned. A service ace, and now this is the first time I'm going to say it correctly. Now we have match point.
Yes.
18-24. And we'll see if Samantha Cochran can close the deal for her squad. The service off the hands of Thomas. From Morgan, and some confusion, but Thomas is able to send it back over. Cochran going to Gilbert, and they're going to say she went over the line. She did. That would have been game or match point for the win, but instead McAlester staying alive, living to fight another day, down by 5.
And remember, folks, if Tahlequah doesn't get another point, McAlester would need to get 7 to win the set instead of just 6.
Yes, they need to get to 26 here, because once you get both sides get to 24, it becomes win by 2. Service from Peacoat. Set up from Madeline Moore. And I believe that was Fowler with the send over. Peacoat over to Morgan. Morgan just has to safely send it. They're going to set it up for not Frazier, but instead for Cochran. It hits the netting, and Swing has it over to Dotson. Dotson for Thomas. Thomas with the right hand, and it's still alive and out of bounds. 20-24. Buffaloes not dead yet.
They're not going down without a fight,
no,
Chase.
they are not. If they could score 6 straight here, that would be ideal. That's how you win the set. Peacoat on the service. Nice job by Fowler. Frazier, she's going for it and finds it. Tahlequah wins the match in 3 sets. 13-25, 21-25, and 20-25. We're going to go ahead and take our final break here. When we come back, we'll recap. I'll let you know what's to come later this week, and then let you know about the next volleyball game next week. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You are watching McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Prime Structures is your local manufacturer of portable buildings. From storage sheds, portable garages, and portable barns to custom builds such as chicken coops and greenhouses. Prime Structures is the only one who builds their buildings here in McAlester using local resources and local labor. They also offer metal carports, RV covers, and metal garages. Local ownership with buildings built in McAlester means factory direct pricing for the customer, saving you money. Free local delivery is also provided. Prime Structures in McAlester, locally owned by Brent and Alicia Case at 1702 South George 9 Expressway, 918-525-4101. See us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Loftus Furniture of McAlester, a proud sponsor of Lady Buffalo Athletics, a family-owned business supporting our McAlester High School sports. Loftus Furniture, 4th-generation business with deep roots in Southeast Oklahoma. One of Southeast Oklahoma's largest furniture stores. 700 East Carl Albert Parkway. The right time, the right place, the right price.
All right, guys, welcome back here to the MAC as we put a wrap on this one as the Lady Buffaloes fall to 2-13 on the season. Unfortunately, see their losing streak increase to 4 in a row now as the Lady Buffs lose in 3 straight sets to the Tahlequah Lady Tigers. They lost set 1, 13-25. That was really the only one that wasn't super competitive. The other 2 were very close, especially the second set towards the end. McAlester lost set 2, 21-25, and then set 3, 20-25. But plenty of bright spots and probably most notably 2 younger names in Hadley Robbins and Tinley Morgan. They played really well for you. Obviously, you had others that played well today, like Kylie Swing, Lexi Peacoat as well, Trinity Bashirs. But it's a lot of young names as well. Throw in Berkeley Roberts, a sophomore as well. This is a very young team, Nate. You've seen them twice now, and we'll get to see them one more time again next week. But this is a team that is still working out some kinks. And there's going to be some rough patches, but we saw a lot of bright patches here tonight as well.
Oh, you can absolutely see the talent on this team. It's just them getting to gel and putting everything together. And this team has a very bright future in front of them. I have zero doubts about that.
I agree. And I don't think, and you might have mentioned this in the pregame, I don't think their record is indicative to how good or bad this team is.
It absolutely is not. Again, McAlester has played a very tough schedule. They've gone to some very, very tough tournaments. And that is only going to make them better.
Yeah, they've played a couple of top 5 teams in both Class 5A and Class 4A. And then you throw in a Class 6A team in Bartlesville who's ranked number 10 in Class 6A.
Yeah.
So, again, it has been a juggernaut of a schedule. They've now played 15 games. 10 of those have been against ranked opponents. So that means of those 5 games against non-ranked opponents, they've won 2 of them. So, I mean, they're just right around 500 against those teams that aren't ranked in the top 10. So, again, it's really been a tough schedule for them. But, again, they're young, and I really do think that they've got some good years and some good games ahead of them. But for now, that's going to do it for tonight. Nate, me and you will be back for the final time next Thursday.
Right.
Next Thursday against Memorial, same bat time, same bat channel. Once again, want to thank our sponsors, Prime Structures, Freedom Ford, and Loftus Furniture. Nate, anything you want to add?
I do want to just say we will be returning to softball coverage soon, but we wanted to get these home volleyball games in that we were going to be able to get to.
Yes, exactly. And big thing coming up on Friday.
Yes. Start of the football season, folks.
Start of the football season. You'll be able to find us here over on KNED as well for is it a 7:30 kickoff?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock kickoff at Broken Bow, but we'll deal with that more when we get there on Friday. You guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. For Chase McNutt and Nate Brown, thanks for tuning in with us for some McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page. Have a good night.